Hi you guys. Alright, so here's the book I wanted to show you. I told you it was special to me because a teacher I had in college is the one that wrote this story. Teachers in college are called professors. So I'm going to show you a picture of him. This man right here was my professor in college for English. His name is Mr. Stephen Moore. And I loved his class. So he's the author, and this guy right here, his name is Morgan Davis. He's the illustrator. Okay? Does the words, does the pictures. All right. So I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to show you the picture after, okay? So Theodore Thumbs. Here's the title page. Has the title again, and then it has the author and the illustrator on there again. All right, once upon a time in a town not too far away from yours, there lived a young boy named Theodore Thumbs. He would always walk around town on the happy, sunny sidewalks where people, small and tall, would look down on this little boy with his thumb in his mouth. He drew attention from those near and far because he was small and skinny. His clothes would drag along when he walked, and because his long hair had a life of its own. He was old enough to talk, but when they would laugh and point and stare, he would always, as his body shook in fear, believe in his lucky thumb. I can't turn the page. One day, while walking upon the sunlit sidewalks, he left his thumb by his side on the way to school. Just down the street, past the grocery store on his left, past the crooked little church in the distance, past his favorite hamburger and ice cream shop. "Hello, Theodore Thumbs," his teacher said with a cheer of sunshine in her voice. She always smiled and greeted him, her students, as they hiked through the door. "How are you?" "I'm okay," Theodore said with a half-little smile. But on the way to his desk, he tripped over his clothes. Books and pencils and papers went everywhere. Everyone laughed and pointed and stared. Theodore quietly sat down at his desk. He nervously looked around. Then he nervously looked down. He placed his thumb in his mouth and he listened for the lesson of the day. After the lesson, the kids all of a sudden heard a happy sound. The recess bell rang throughout the playground as kids roamed around like creatures from the city zoo. The brown oak tree were warmly embraced by little hands and little feet. Some boys flew from one long branch to the next, and some girls skipped around in fields of tall green grass and white, sticky flowers. Instead of joining the boys by the tree, Theodore ran over to the slide and swing set, and there he sadly sat there on the swing by himself. While sitting there, a crowd of kids surrounded him. The kids began yelling cruel things at him. "Why do you wear those ugly clothes all the time? You look so silly sitting there. Why is your hair so weird and funny?" "It looks like spaghetti on the top of your head." Theodore jumped off the swing and just stood there without saying a word. They all laughed, they all pointed, they all stared. They began chanting and singing, "Look at silly Theodore Thumbs, look at silly Theodore Thumbs," over and over again. They kept singing this sad song about his name. He nervously looked around. He nervously looked down. His body shook in fear. Then he placed his thumb in his mouth. When school was over, Theo ran as fast as he could. His tears began falling down the sad, sunny sidewalks. He ran and ran past his favorite hamburger and ice cream shop, past the crooked little church, past the grocery store. He sat down by his favorite tree in the front yard of his house. Theo's parents finally came out to see him, and they quickly asked about his day. After he shared with them about this horrible day, they responded, "Ignore them. Ignore them no matter what they say. If they laugh, point, and stare, remember you are very, very special." "No," they shouted, "you are more than special. You are thumbtastic." Thumbtastic? Theo wondered. Yes, you are thumbtastic, more than fantastic. With that said, Theodore Thumbs smiled the biggest smile. I'm thumbtastic, he said over and over again. Then everyone in the neighborhood joined in with his parents, and they all cheered, they all smiled, they all applauded for dear little Theodore Thumbs. My page doesn't want to change. Then they began chanting and singing, look at thumbtastic, over and over again. They kept singing this happy song about his name. So remember, my dear friend, when they start making fun of you, when you are having a bad day, remember that you are thumbtastic. That's the end of the story. Cute, right? I was thinking there's a lot of things in here that show bucket filling and bucket dumping, right? And we all know about that. So you should, if you look at this, you can kind of look at the story and go, they're being bucket dumpers. Oh, that's kind of a bucket filling kind of thing to do. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. All right, you guys, bye.